I've had the Jaecoo 5 now just over 2 months. Got it at the start of February 2026, and it is now April 2026. I've done just over 2,000 miles in it, and overall I'm quite impressed with the vehicle for what you get for the price. I'll be totally honest. It's worked when I've got in it, and it's got me to where I want to go, and it's charged. There are a few minor issues that hopefully will get ironed out under warranty and firmware updates, but this is just a quick video to tell you how I'm getting on with it and go through a couple of the issues that I've had. So you would have seen that I've made like a video on the boot liner, and also measuring the volume of the boot and etc, and demoing for cases. I made those videos pretty much early doors when I first had the car. So after 3 days the boot motor actually broke. So the boot was opened less than 10 times and the boot strut motor broke, and it's been into the Jaecoo garage, the dealership that's nearest to me, twice now. Once to prove that it was broken, and secondly for them to look at it once they'd confirmed it was broken. But on the second visit, again, they weren't able to resolve the problem, and have told me now that it's got to go to a larger dealership in Ilkeston to be looked at next week. So I'm going to take that over on Wednesday, and it's got to stay with them for 2 to 3 days. But hopefully, touch wood, they'll get the boot fixed, because the motor for the boot hasn't worked for obviously over 2 months now, and I'm a bit disappointed with that, really. And the actual, it's proved not to be very robust. I've kept my eye on forums, and other people haven't seemed to report that, so maybe it's a one-off for me, but it's just unfortunate. Obviously purchased this vehicle because we've got 2 dogs, and it was basically this vehicle because it had access to let the dogs be in the boot, but because of the problems we've had to put the dogs on the back seats and stuff and try and not open the boot as much. So it's just one of those things. Point 2 is I've made people aware of this on forums, and also I've brought it up in my range test video, but the even though everything's set to miles, the actual range computer displays in kilometres, even though it's got miles next to the actual reading. Again, I've raised this with the Jaecoo dealership, and they say that it is raised and hopefully should be addressed in a firmware update in the future, but as of yet there's still no firmware updates. Point 3 is the radio reception. Again, I wouldn't say I live in the absolute middle of nowhere, but I do find that the radio isn't brilliant with the reception. I'll put in a quick clip here, but obviously it's just of Radio 1 playing. As you'll hear, there's just a lot of like noise on, and the channel often drops out. But I say I'll put a brief clip here, but it won't be very long because of copyright and stuff. But it's not brilliant. Hopefully this can be addressed. The next point, the keys. So this was quite a major one for me in terms of I'd been using the vehicle for 4 weeks, and I was using the primary key and the key with the key fob. Came out to the vehicle one morning and the vehicle just wouldn't unlock. The key fob was flat basically. So I went into the house, got my spare key, came back down, opened the car and went about my business that day. The following day I came out again to use the vehicle with the spare key fob that had only been used the once, and that was flat. So within the space of like just over 4 weeks, both key fobs had gone flat. One had not been used at all. I ordered new batteries, and obviously that's resolved it now, but we're going into the second month of ownership now. So again, are the key fobs just going to go flat on me? I raised it with the dealer, and the dealer advised me not to keep the keys in a Faraday pouch, because they've been advising other users with the Jaecoo 5 BEV not to keep the keys in Faraday pouches, because they've also experienced the batteries in the key fobs not lasting very long. So again, I'm keeping my eye on that one. I'll let you know in the future how that goes in the next couple of weeks, to see if the next set of batteries in the fobs go flat, and whether or not they go flat at the same time, which would seem to mean that the key is constantly trying to establish contact with the car when you're away from the vehicle, which is using battery. Just one point as well regarding that: if you've got if you've seen, when you pick up the car, you get like this metal key as well, which normally you would get in a key fob, but it isn't in the key fob on this one. But if you see that, then I can show you how to use that on the door handle. Yeah, so as you can see, this you can use to just flip off and then unlock and lock the car with that. So it did get me out of that problem, but it is an unusual one. I say I've not had another vehicle where the keys have gone so flat so quick. So obviously that's one to hopefully be addressed soon, because I say I've not had that issue with any other vehicles, and doesn't seem to me the best practice to not keep your key in a Faraday pouch or box when it's at home. But we'll see anyway. I'll keep my eye on the forums on that one, and if you've had any experience with the key fobs batteries going flat, please let me know. Let's just share on that one if there is a fix. The only other things really at the minute are obviously the range. I did a range test and I'm only getting 160, 170 miles per charge, but I mean that's adequate for me at the minute. And then the last point is, it's nothing to do with the actual vehicle itself in terms of the performance or anything. It's just if anybody out there has got any device that actually allows it to play YouTube or Netflix, etc., for when you're parked up. This is just a previous album, I'll talk over it, but it shouldn't get copyrighted because it's my music. But yeah, you know, obviously that is portrait format, and I've got another video example on here now as well. Like, this is a video that's coming out next week, just a 60 mile an hour test. But again, that plays as if on your TV. That's obviously landscape. But yeah, just interested to know if there's anybody out there who's got a solution where it'll play YouTube, because obviously YouTube isn't on the on any of the menus by default. You know, I know like in a Tesla and stuff you can get Netflix and YouTube, etc., for when you're parked up if you are charging and you're having to wait in your car. Just wondering if there's anything out there for the Jaecoo yet that anybody's aware of. So, you know, if you do know, please let us know. But I'm just wondering if that's going to be a feature that comes out on the console after possibly an update or two. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps this channel out. And we'll get another video out soon, so stay tuned.